Okay, so to all of the viewers out there, including myself, you live life. You live and you fucking learn, right? So where the fuck do we go from here? I'm just gonna, like I said, make it about myself. I'm 30, single, mom. My fucking checkered past is all over Instagram. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have people like you who are, she's a hoe, she's literally known for this. Okay. So what would be your advice to people like me then?
You see the thing about Britney Renner? And not just Britney Renner, like most Western women, I believe. It's like they always do things without thinking about future consequences. And then when it happens, they're like, what the fuck do I do now? There's gray area. No, there's not gray area. Like that woman said, it's black and white. The fruits of what you sow, you reap it in the future. It happens no matter what. Karma, whatever, it's real. If y'all don't know Britney Renner, bro, she just been passed around the whole celebrities, NBA team, basically. You feel what I'm saying? And now she's had a checkered past on Instagram. Everyone's calling her a hoe. She has a son. She's 30. She's reaching the years where she should be married, have a full family, but she's a single mom. And it's like, what do you expect, bro? Because when you was younger, you was living this like lavish lifestyle with rappers and NBA players. Now, what do you expect? This is the life of the American modern woman. This is how it's gonna end. Like, you feel me? You can't have both, bro. You have to pick one. And now she don't even want to settle for an average guy because she wants someone that's high enough level of status to provide for her. And also, even though seeing that she was a hoe in the past, and put up with the ego and that insecurity. No, not a lot of guys will do that, bro.
That's unfortunate because there's gray.
You know what? I'll tell you what.
There's gray. There's gray in life.
You know what?
To answer, wait, I'm gonna answer. I mean, I just think there's consequences for your decisions, and I just think like my best advice would be to like lower your standards, like that.
Exactly.
Because I just think there's going to be consequences for putting, promiscuous stuff on the internet.
1000%. What do you expect?
You probably won't get the type of guy that you could have got at 22.
Do you know what, sister?
It wasn't meant to be then.
Do you know what I'll tell you?
It wasn't meant to be then. Then that's exactly your mindset, bro. You get what you deserve. Like, you feel me? Like, it's not like, I'm not saying, I don't know Britney Renner like that. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve a good person. But if you can't find a good person because of your IG account or what you post on the internet, whose fault is that? If you can't find a good person because you have an OnlyFans, your pussy's all over the internet, that's your own fault. Who can you blame?
Because I'm 30 and I'm single out of a situation that actually is not because I was a hoe and I was doing whatever. People can't call me that. I made it my decision to be with somebody that hurt me a lot, and I stayed for 5 years. I came out super late. And do you know what I realized? What I learned is that I know now that I have to be selective and I have to think. If me taking longer to get to that stage is what it takes, then that's what it takes. You accept your future, you accept everything with gratitude, because as long as you're breathing, that's the most important thing. At least you've got your child. I am not afraid because I know the quality of woman that I am. I know my value regardless of whether I'm 30, 40, 50. Yeah. Do you understand? So you don't be afraid by other people's time limits and limitations and all of these things, because it actually doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why.
But you're wondering how the fuck I changed my outfit real quick. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Value goes down as you get older.
No, that's according to you.
No, but I'm saying to men, and you have to understand your buyer.
I'll tell you why. Because since Mr. Andrew Tate explained something about status, I understand very well what that actually means. And as a woman, the quality and the value that I hold for myself is actually the kind of value and quality that a man will appreciate the status it will bring to him, whether or not I'm a virgin. Because I've worked on myself to be a woman of quality and substance. I respect myself and I handle myself as such. Okay? And that is the way that you're going to actually overcome all of these bad mistakes that you've made, because who you are right now actually will make a difference if you stick to it and if you mean it and if you've always been that way. There's always another story for everybody. It doesn't matter. You'll be fine.
Do you know what
just got somebody that's more emotionally mature.
Do you know what I would have said to you? What are you about to say, Andrew? Because you just started speaking out.
I want to say
Andrew. She said Andrew. I want to hear. I really because you've been through a lot in your life. When she told me that you were going to be on and we were going to be on this panel together, I started watching a bunch of your videos, and it really was like there's so much that you have been through, which is why you have a well of wisdom, right? And the difference between me and you is that you're glorified for it, and I am burned at the stake for everything that I've been through. And it's so funny because people have always said that we were two sides of the same coin, as far as like, well, if Andrew Tate gets banned, Britney Renner should get banned, because we are all about accountability and fucking truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been through a lot, I've been through a lot. I'm seen as used goods. You're seen as a high value man.
Yep.
So if you're me, then what? What's next?
Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's interesting you make the observation, and you are correct. That's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. It's unfair, I guess. The world's not fair, but that's the difference between the masculine and the feminine. Men are respected for going through things and surviving, and women are the complete opposite. They're shamed for going through things and surviving. If you look at women love scars on men for a reason. He's gone through something. They're lived.
War wounds.
Men don't want a chick covered in scars. I'll say this right now, that a woman, the more trauma she goes through, the more masculine she naturally becomes. And if you were to give me my ideal woman, I would not have wanted her to have a hard life and a bunch of trauma. I like the idea of her having a soft feminine life and being a soft person. I can take care of her and protect her. Whereas as a man, to be a good man, you need to have been through a bunch of trauma, because if you haven't been through trauma as a man, you're a weakling. You have to have been through
That makes sense.
So
that makes sense.
The masculine and the feminine is a very interesting point there. As for, I don't know your history. I don't know the past, but we can just talk in generalizations in regards
People
to
like me, I guess, under the same umbrella. It doesn't have to be personal.
I don't know any of it, but we'll give generalizations. One of the main reasons that men are scared of a female with history is because it makes the man insecure. And scared dogs bite. So this is why men will snap or get angry quick, or they'll bring up if you get in an argument with him, he'll bring up your history, whatever. But a lot of it is insecurity, and it's not insecurity because the man is insecure. The female paradigm in society convinces men, any man who says anything, you're insecure. It's not insecure in that way. It's insecure in a very realistic, logical way. Like I was saying earlier, she's had a lot of life experience. Let's be honest. Am I the richest guy she's ever had? No. Am I the most famous guy she's ever had? No. Am I the best looking guy she's ever had? No. Like, what's keeping her here? And then part of it comes down to, well, am I second place? If she could do better, would she do better? Like, there's a whole bunch of insecurity involved.
That's exactly what I was saying, bro. Britney Renner has been through I think she's been with Drake. I'm not sure, bro. PJ Washington for sure. Colin Kaepernick, that football player from America, bro. He, like, you feel me? Like, so the next man she's going to get, which most likely will be under the value of those men, naturally be insecure because all the men she's gone with is the top level. So, like, what do you expect the guy to think, bro? Like, she's experienced everything. I can't show this woman anything new in life. And what guys love is to show women, like, for example, like, take her to somewhere she hasn't been before. You should be like, oh, you've done this with me. I've never had someone do this to me before. But she probably experienced everything. She's been on a PJ private jet. She's been on every single escape. Like, bro, she's done everything with every man. No man can show you anything, bro. No more, because you've just been through everything in life. And the thing about men love giving women experiences, bro. They love showing them things they haven't experienced before. That gives them, makes them feel masculine, makes them feel like a man. So that's probably what it's just you reap the seed you sow. I keep saying this all the time. If you make a decision in your life, and the past decisions, if you're watching this as a female, make sure in your 20s, early 20s, you find a man that you can basically marry, because that's your prime years. Because if you waste it hoeing around, it's not gonna looking good for you when you're like in your 30s, because you're gonna basically look like Britney Renner with a child without his father, and struggling and then after paying like legal fees, £50,000 in legal fees just for fighting for a child support and shit. It's not what you want. I promise you.
Tiny things, like I'm talking, I know it sounds like dumb shit. Tiny things about the favorite car brand become more important than ever, right? It's your job as a woman, regardless of how much sexual history you've had or what guy you're with, etc. It's your job as a woman to make your man feel secure in the fact, and make him feel like a man, like Auntie was saying, make him feel like the man no matter what he does, so that he feels like you really truly believe he's the best choice for you on the planet. That's your job to do. Now, if you've had a checkered past, that's perhaps more difficult. You need to be more tactful with it, more tactical about it. But you have to achieve the same result. You have to do the exact same thing, right? So, yeah, it's easy for me if I get a 21-year-old virgin from some village in Slovakia, and I'm multi-millionaire Andrew Tate. Of course, it's a very easy. She's never had better. She'll never get better. She's never been anywhere. Boom, boom, easy one, right? But like you said, the world's not so idealistic. The reality is that people have had relationships, et cetera, et cetera. But a man is happiest in the relationship when he feels like man of the house, and when he truly feels like you believe he's the best man that you could possibly ever get and have ever gotten. Because a man is jealous. I'll tell you something. I used to say this to girls. It's like a joke.
Because men compete with their exes. Not in a way of like jealousy. You know when women say don't ever, if you ask for your ex, that's a red flag. Not in a way of that way. It's to the point where men are always in competition with themselves. So like when they ask for their exes, they need to make sure like, yo, as an ex, if he gave you the best, you know what I'm saying? Did he give you the best sex you've ever had? You need to make the man feel like he's the best you've ever had. And that's the most, I feel like that's the most fulfilling the man will get with a woman.
There's always truth in jest.
I just, I say it's a joke. So you cheated on me before I met you. And she'd be like, what do you mean? I didn't even know you. It's like, yeah, you fucked that guy before I even knew you. You cheated on me. And they used to laugh, whatever. But that's how men think. That's the male mind. Like, I love you. And you've been fucked by who? But I didn't know you. I don't care if you knew me. You should have waited. What do you mean you didn't? But that's the male mind. So he is in competition with all of your exes and all of your lifestyle and all the things you've done permanently. And it's down to you as a woman to sit there and go, how do I make him secure in himself and secure in his masculinity and make him believe that investing in me is still worthwhile because I still truly value him, despite the fact that I could do X, Y, Z. I hope that gives some clarity, but that's the answer.
So how do you know what I would have said? I would have said, oh, for anybody in that situation, come off social media and just raise your child. So the person who meets you's got nothing to. But I never knew you. I never knew who you were because I've never heard of you before. So when I spoke to you, but the way the way you're saying like what's on the internet, let me just say, you're a nicer person than what you sound like what you perceive to be. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, oh, that Pearl's got, oh, there, she's a whore, and I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about you. And I was saying that if you didn't have nothing on social media about your checkered past, and you met somebody the same way how I met you and I conversed and I got to know you is the same way that they would.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. All these problems will be solved without social media. I'm be trying to tell y'all niggas, bro. All these problems will be solved without social media. If Britney Renner never had a social media and she's been with all these men regardless, but her social media was not out there and she wasn't flexing on social media with all these men, it wouldn't be a problem because no one would ever know a checkered past because like, for example, Ash Cash is known for the got 3,000. Any man that wants to be with her already knows. Even if he doesn't know, he will find out because of the internet. You feel what I'm saying? So like, if your let's say if your reputation is known for something checkered in the past, like she's been called a hoe, like that's what social media brings, bro. It's a double-edged sword. You get, like she said, she get banned to stake for it and be seen as used goods, or she get glorified for it if you're a man. You feel me? So like, social media is the problem to all of these things. That's why I say be careful on social media. Don't put everything on social media. Social media is not what it seems, man, nigga. You feel me? I love y'all niggas, bro, but I'm not putting my relationship on social media. Not one day. Never. You feel what I'm saying? Never, bro. Never. You might see a little quick flicks here and there, but no. Y'all need to be careful. Like, even when you're out in locations, bro, I'm not even a rap. I'm not famous, right? I don't know. No one knows me. But like, there'll be certain situations where I think like, yo, I'm outside right now in a restaurant. I'm about to post a photo with me and this thing of family out. You know what? I'll post it 10 minutes after I leave the restaurant. Just to be extra safe, you feel me? You never know, nigga. You never know who's what, you feel me? That's to be extra safe, you feel me? And no one's after me, but you never know. That's what got Pop Smoke killed. That's what got P&B Rock killed. All these rappers are getting killed over socials. Bitch niggas will pull, a fat nigga that eats McDonald's every day will pull out a gun on you and boom you, nigga. Oh! He has no heart. That's just the world we live in, bro. Niggas don't fight with fists no more. Niggas, social media has changed like everything, man.
It is interesting, and it's also back to the masculine and feminine, right? Because I'm all over the internet, and supposedly I'm misogynist and I'm evil and all this crap, right? But if I meet a girl, even if she disagrees with me, in fact, I'll say this: I've never ever met a single female who's ever come up to me and disagreed with me. Every woman comes up to me and loves what I says. But let's imagine I met this imaginary girl; she was sitting with me, and if I were to have a 10-minute conversation with her, by the time I explain the level to which they tried to destroy me, how they tried to freeze all my bank accounts, raise illegal charges against me, put me in jail for things I didn't do, put a travel ban, take my passport, all this garbage. By the time I explain how hard they tried to hurt me and failed, she'll want me. She'll be like, You can't kill this guy.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it.
That's true, though.
You say a bunch of shit I don't like, but you know what? You're the man. So it is about experience, and it is different. And that's a really good point about social media. Social media amplifies all of this shit.
It does, bro. I be trying to tell you niggas.
Everything we're discussing, everything we've discussed back to the beginning, from status to promiscuity to your past, it's all social media. Without social media, a lot of it goes away.
Yeah.
And I think that's why me and my man last so long, is that he doesn't do social media,
Completely.
and there's nothing on there about me.
I feel like, to answer your question too, because I have had people say that as a solution, and it's like, you can run, but you cannot hide from the truth. And I have shared why my voice has been so impactful and will continue to be impactful is because I have put myself out there and I have been punished for being honest. So it's like, I have been given a platform and a voice for a reason. Even sitting down in this conversation thinking there's not one person I'm probably going to agree with and probably going to want to leave, I've been called here for a reason. So it's like, I can't go against what is in my heart and what I am coded to be. And that's why I feel like it's important for me to sit here and represent people who feel like me, because it's like, I don't want to say I don't even want to say that. I just feel like I don't see a lot of women under my umbrella who feel the way that I feel. I don't see opinions shared that would be worded the way that I feel. Nothing. I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very unique, and it's kind of scary because I have been through different things. I see the world in a different place, and when I even speak online, people think I'm fucking speaking Swahili.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know exactly what you're saying, and you're making.
That's tough, my baby.
I think that regardless of whether, like, we're talking about different positions, I compare everything to chess. I know it's annoying. We're looking at different positions on the chessboard, but the rules are still the same, right?
Okay.
No matter how bad your position is or how good your position is, you're still trying to achieve the same objectives. And you want the man to get high status, and you want the man to feel secure in himself. And I think it's very difficult. I can only talk from the male perspective because I am a man. It is very difficult. If I were to meet a woman who I liked very much, but she had X whatever, past whatever. My concerns would be, how do I know that I'm still the number one? How do I know I'm most important in her life, especially if I don't measure up in certain key metrics? And two, the second thing that's most scary for men is we understand that men are constantly after what we have. Like, your inboxes are all full. Like, they may not be with guys you want to reply to, but guys are still trying to get it. That's the male life. The male life is people are trying to take everything from me. And that's very scary. And you have to make your man really believe like that's impossible. If a man truly believes that nobody can take you from him, he's going to love you in a different way. You can give me
insanely way.
You can give me 2 carbon.
That's how you get a man obsessed with you, basically. That is basically the secret code to get a man obsessed with you. Y'all females watching this, your females view, that's literally a secret way to get your man obsessed with you. To make him feel like nothing can get you, bro. It's crazy. Men are simple, bro. Like, women don't understand what men want, but men are simple.
You can give me 2 carbon copies of the same chick, but one I think might cheat in the right circumstances, and one I know no matter what would never leave me. The love I'll feel for this one is a different planet to the love I feel for this one, even though they're the same person, right? Because that's every man's biggest fear, is a woman cheating or leaving, because there's something visceral and something different about it. I know I talk things and I say men can do things and women can't and all this stuff, but like, if a woman cheats on a man, that hurts the man on a level that it doesn't hurt the woman if the man cheats on her. It's different. It's different biologically. It's different evolutionarily. Like, that's what men used to fight and die over. You talk to my chick. You look at my chick.
His dick off.
Yeah, it's like you demasculinize him on every level. Like, and this is why you see these TikToks, right? Me and my man went on a break, got back together. He fucked 20 girls, and now he's crying because I went on a date. Yes, completely yes. Because the damage level is different. It's just a different thing. So you have to understand the paradigms. You have to understand to play the game. And that's how you make men happy. And I know very well how I like to believe that I would know very well how to make a woman happy. And I know, and whether I do that or not is a conscious decision. And that's where you get to a certain level of grandmastery where if I get a woman, I will literally decide out of 10, how happy do I want her? Does she deserve to be happy 10? Or should I keep her like crying half the time? That it's very conscious, and women don't think that way. But I'm saying, if you're a cunning woman, you can be like that. You could be a bit more like, you know what? I want him infatuated with me. This guy ain't worth the time. That guy I want. And then when you're going to do that, just like the game of chess, if you play chess, It's not big moves that make you lose. It's small positional plays. It's that time you argued about your favorite car. It's the time you disagreed about the favorite band. It's the dumb shit that adds up. Whereas really, truthfully, if you're truly smart about the game, you can get him to a point after a few months where he's like, she's my soulmate. She loves everything I love. We think the same. Our hearts are connected. Boom. And then you're safe. Just don't fuck it up from there. That's the game.
But I just feel like it's so contradicting to feel like what your overall message is, which is about truth. So it's like if my truth, like if it can be destroyed by the truth, it should be destroyed by the truth. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like why it's really mind-boggling to me, because I feel like how could you even be mentally, emotionally, sexually stimulated by a woman who is just agreeable and it just doesn't have her own mind. I just don't see that.
That is exactly.
I get her point. That's a slave. What you mean? What you say?
Exactly. That is exactly what every man wants. We don't want you to be complete robots. We're not saying we can't have a joke with you. We can't say we can't have a laugh with you. We're not saying you can't have a personality. But when it comes to things like agreement, there is not a single man in the world who's going to say she's too agreeable. She just agrees with me on it. She agrees with me on all the important things in my life. She's too agreeable. I want someone else. Fuck no. You're completely and utterly wrong on that point.
No.
This idea that I understand if you're a complete doormat and you set no standards, men might walk all over you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about agreeability and agreeableness as a whole. Men love the idea of an agreeable woman because it gives status and it makes the man feel like he's a teacher and it makes the man feel in charge and it satisfies his ego. And to you, they may be small, little, tiny points, but to him, they're a big deal. If I were to sit, I'm telling you right now, if I were to sit with one of my chicks or whatever, or my chick, and I'll just sit in the Lambo and say, Lambo's the best car of all of them. I prefer the Lambo. And she goes, I don't like that one. Da, da, da. I'm like, listen, I bought them all, and I fucking said this is the best one. Shut up. And it would annoy me because that's my reality. I want her to become part of my reality. It's the thing. And you talk about truth. It's interesting because the truth of your heart and the truth of your soul is to be happy. That's truth. Truth is for you to end up happy. Now, if you have to sit there and agree on a especially on a subject you don't give a fuck about, right? If it's something you care about and you are very knowledgeable about, if it's ancient Roman history and you have a degree in ancient Rome, then fine, argue the point. But if it's cars or something you don't even give a shit about, you're missing the chance to get points on the scoreboard, an easy free throw, and you're just fucking it up going, why? What? The truth is just play the game and win. That's the truth.
Andrew could be the best female dating.
Just like.